Titian was a significant High Renaissance painter, and we will be analyzing him today in our film project.
Titian, the High Italian Renaissance painter, was born in Pieve di Cattore in the years 1488 between 1490, and wow, gorgetastic. He became a leading artist after his painting called The Assumption of the Virgin, and also for painting portraits for people of high status. His mediums included altarpieces, portraits, mythologies, and pastoral landscapes. He was innovative in the fact that he used contrasting colors and the new use of naturalism of the female naked body. After his work became impressionistic and dark, it led to a big impact in Baroque art in the later years.
Will you be in my painting? Yes. Which is titled The Venus of Urbino. It depicts a nude woman reclining on her bed with a dog to her right and her two attendants in the back picking out a dress. People in the future aren't really sure who the subject of the pictures is, but some of their guesses are that it's either the goddess Venus, a young wife, or simply an idealized female. There are many geometric straight patterns, such as these tiles receding into the background, and this blue panel that separates the piece in two. These lines are put there to really accentuate the curves of her body. These soft, gradual curves by using an innovative technique called glazing, in which I painted very thin layers of oil paint, which accumulated and formed the beautifully detailed painting you see here that has this soft look to it. Although people in the future won't exactly know the purpose of this painting, one of their most popular hypotheses would be that she's a young wife waiting in anticipation for her husband. And this will give them some insight into the customs and traditions in Italy during my time.
Mummy, I am merely a poor Italian child, fated to die before I see the beautiful works of Titian.
In 1516, the Catholic Church commissioned their first request from Titian. The payment called for Titian to paint the altar space of the Basilica di Santa Maria Gloriosa dei Frari in Venice, Italy. This piece broke many artistic boundaries and skyrocketed Titian's career as a Renaissance painter. There are three main elements that draw the attention of the viewer in this painting. At the bottom, there are figures, Mary's apostles, reaching up to her in prayer and acceptance. These figures draw inspiration from Michelangelo and other painters outside of Venice. Since this painting is more than 23 feet tall, the apostles at the base of the panel are more than life-size. The second element that draws the attention of the viewer is God depicted at the top. His arms are also outstretched in prayer and acceptance as Mary reaches up to him. He has a downcast gaze at Mary and is surrounded by two angels. The narrative it depicts is the Assumption, Mary's transition between the living world and the dead. The most commanding element that is in this painting is the Blessed Virgin herself in the center. Her arms, like everyone else, are outstretched in prayer as she looks up towards God. She's surrounded by cherub angels and is being accepted up into the background of heaven. The background here is a very flat gold color, which is suggested of medieval times before atmospheric perspective, and her drapery has influences from Hellenistic Greece with its curves. These curves and soft shadows create asymmetry down a very symmetrical nave of the church, which is where it's supposed to be viewed and can still be viewed today. There are still elements of atmosphere, shading, and emotion, as well as perspective. One interesting element of perspective is the foreshortened Virgin, who seems to appear bigger at the bottom and smaller at the top. This will give a more sense of overwhelming, along with the composition, colors, scale, and positions. Her legs are stretched outwards down to the apostles, so it is given more the idea that they are looking up at her.
Stop abusing me!
Titian, and you're watching High Renaissance Channel.